Part 14 of What If the Final Season of Game of Thrones was really good. Now that the Night King has defeated Melisandre and the Hound and the Mountain are both dead, it's down to Arya and Jon to try to stop this guy. However, on top of the Red Keep, the 3 ice dragons start breathing heavy fire to melt the roof of the Red Keep. Also, outside the door of the throne room and on the side of the castle, the White Walkers are starting to scale the walls and get past the door. They're not in yet, but they're about to be. And as Jon sees the roof of the Red Keep start to glow and melt away, he looks to the Night King. The Night King looks back at him, and he pulls from his back a Darth Maul-style double-edged sword. And it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Jon Snow versus the Night King. Jon then charges at the Night King, and their swords meet, and it's an epic battle. Dragon fire starts pouring in through the roof around them. The Night King is deadly fast, super talented with a sword, but Jon is able to hold his own against him. He's fighting with every ounce of ability he can muster up, but he can't land a strike against the Night King. Jon is so physically tired from fighting him that he loses grip of his sword. But instead of swinging a fatal blow with his sword, the Night King punches Jon in the chest, sending him across the throne room. And Jon lands so hard that he breaks his back and can't move. Just to add insult to injury, the Night King walks over to Jon and stabs his sword through Jon's leg. And Jon doesn't even move because he can't feel his legs. The Night King looks at his sword, then locks eyes with Jon. And Jon looks up at him and says, "I am the Watcher on the walls." And as Jon recites his Night's Watch vows, the Night King kneels down beside him and places his hand on Jon's face. And Jon's worst fear begins to be realized. He starts to turn into a white. And as he watches Jon's skin turn white and his eyes turn blue, the Night King cracks a small smirk. But when all is thought to be lost for the living, behind the Night King, from the shadows, jumps Arya with a Valyrian steel blade in her hand. Before he's able to turn Jon fully into a white, the Night King turns and grabs Arya by the throat. And while clutching at her windpipe, the Night King actually speaks. And in a deep demonic voice, he whispers to her, "I am the God of Death." And she looks back at him and says, "You know what we say to the God of Death? Not today." And Arya drops her knife, stabs him in the side, and kills the Night King. And as all the White Walkers, the Ice Dragons, and all the dead fall around them, on the ground, Arya looks over at Jon. Jon turns to Arya, and he reaches out his hand. They embrace, and the roof of the Red Keep and 3 dead Ice Dragons falls, killing them both. Like and follow for Part 15.